But, Hi guys! This is Madz Abraham and welcome back to my channel. If it's your very first time here, I'm currently a postgraduate intern from the Philippines. I make medical-related, pharmacy-related, or other videos, and you can just check my playlists below. So as you can see, I'm actually wearing our internship scrubs, but I've never worn this in the hospital kasi hindi pa kami start mag-duty sa hospital. But I'm actually wearing it right now because I'll be telling you the 15 factors that you have to consider when choosing a hospital for your postgraduate internship here in the Philippines. So first of all, for this video topic, I would like to thank Stephen Antonio and also Ali Manalak for giving me the vlog suggestion, and also belated happy birthday to Ali. Now, just a disclaimer, I would not tell you here the details of the programs of the different hospitals, firstly because I don't know all of them, and because what I want you to know would be the factors that you have to focus on or look into when it comes to picking the hospitals. And because I don't want to be biased when telling you all these factors, so wala talagang babanggitin a particular hospital here. So I will leave the job of telling you about the program of each hospital to the med schools. So hopefully they give you talks about the programs of each hospital. Now for this video, I made some sort of a checklist para we can talk about it in detail, and then this checklist, I would also link it in the description box, so you could also download it, you can save it, you can print it, or just look at it, and then you could write there on the side the specific hospitals that you're considering, and then para siyang checklist. So i-check mo if it was able to meet the criteria. And then siguro, what would help you decide would be the total number of points or the checks that each hospital was able to meet. And although I would be telling you 15 factors to consider, I did not necessarily rank this as to the most important to the least important to consider. So depende rin to sa inyo kung ano yung pinaka-priority nyo. So let's talk about them one by one. First factor to consider is proximity. So this is very important. Depende kung uwian ka o gusto mo na magstay sa isang condo or apartment near the hospital. First of all, important din to know and decide whether or not sa Manila ka or sa province ka mag-internship. Sabi nga nila, postgraduate internship is the most fun year in your entire medical career or dun sa road towards becoming a doctor. Kasi as a postgraduate intern, parang you're in between eh. Hindi ka na student, pero hindi ka pa licensed. So, yung responsibilities, hindi kasing laki ng kung resident ka. Tapos, hindi ka rin naman sobrang bottom of the pyramid na gaya ng clerk, which I experienced before. And then, very important din yung proximity kasi kung gusto mo na itong internship, this whole year would be a time wherein you can spend more time with your family. So, gusto mo maging uwian. Edi, maghanap ka ng hospital na mas malapit sa inyo, be it sa province or nasa Manila. And then, very important, kung hindi ka naman mag-uuwian, dapat yung hospital meron siya mga condos or apartments na pwede mong i-rent around. Next thing that you have to consider would be the skills. So, kung gusto mo talaga na marami or maximum volume of patients, edi dun ka sa hospital na mas marami yung cases. Dito rin papasok yung pag-differentiate or pag-identify kung mas gusto mo ba na mag-private hospital or mag-public hospital. Kung ikaw yung type of person na mas natututunan mo kapag nakita mo yung kaso na yun, edi dun ka sa hospitals na sobrang daming pasyente. Pero the advantage naman of private hospitals is that since private yung cases, so our patients here are paying. So, most likely, ideal yung management. And then, one more thing about skills is that it depends on the skills that you want to learn. So, there are some hospitals na nag-aalaw sa ng first assist sa surgeries, mga nag-aalaw na mag-intubate na yung interns. So, alamin mo from the previous interns in that hospital kung ano ba yung usually ginagawa ng interns. So, that could also help you in assessing the amount of skills that you would gain from your internship program. Third factor that you have to consider would be the theoretical knowledge. So, here what's important would be identifying if you want to go to a teaching versus a non-teaching hospital. So, of course, in teaching hospital, the advantage is sobrang guided kayo. Basically, it's gonna be like you're a medical student pa rin, but you already graduated. So, you're guided, but you're given more freedom. Very helpful lagi yung teaching rounds, and then you would have more conferences, more lectures, and also more quizzes. Because what you also have to keep in mind here is that as interns, it's also the time to prepare for your board exam. Fourth thing is the schedule or the duty hours. Siguro ito yung isa sa mga factors na important talaga i-consider because when you were still in med school, hindi mo naman hawak yung schedule mo eh. This time, you're given a chance to pick a hospital that would allow you to have the duty schedule that you would want. Meaning, kung gusto mo ng mas benign para may mas nagagawa kang iba or mas marami kang pahinga or more time to spend with family or friends, edi go for those hospitals na merong 12 hours duty lang. And then, I think usually naman yung mga hospitals true from kapag nag-duty. And then, if you're the type naman na ayaw mo nung nakatenga lang, ayaw mo nung masyadong chill, gusto mo yung lagi may ginagawa, lagi nasa ospital, and mas maraming nakitang patients, mas maraming kaso, then go for those hospitals na mas matagal yung duty hours, yung 24 hours, 36 hours. The fifth factor then would be the benefits and compensation. Edi as interns, parang employed na tayo ng hospitals and we're already given benefits. So there are some hospitals that give what we call the stipend or allowance or salary. Pero take note na hindi lahat ng hospitals nagbibigay nito because this is some sort of an incentive lang. And then in terms of the amount, some hospitals can give 2,000, pwedeng 3,500, 4,500, or maybe in the province, there's a hospital nga that has a 6,500 na stipend. So kunyari kahit taga Manila ka pero gusto mo ng sweldo, pumunta ka dun sa province na yun. Aside from the stipend, there are hospitals that would provide PPEs. There are also hospitals that would give you free meals during duties or pwede rin breakfast, lunch, dinner, sagot na nila lahat. And then also, uniforms like yung white coat and yung scrubs. And then lastly, aside from those, meron ding hospitals that would provide you with health benefits. Meaning, kunyari pag na-admit ka, be it COVID-related or ibang sakit, they would be the ones to shoulder your medical expenses or your hospital fees. The sixth factor that you have to consider would be the type of clerk that you are, that you were, or that you will be. That would also give you an idea on how you would work pagdating ng internship. So if you're watching this na online clerkship pa lang yung meron kayo, then unfortunately, this factor would be hard to gauge. But if you're already in the hospital, this is important because kung kanyari, ikaw yung benign na clerk, tapos mas gusto mong ganon, na-enjoy mo yung pagiging benign mo, edi maybe go for a hospital na mas benign, hindi ka to toxic. And then kapag toxic clerk ka naman, tas na-enjoy mo yung marami kang ginagawa, then go for a hospital na ipapatoxic ka talaga. The seventh factor would be the presence of an in-house board review. So as I said earlier, part of being an intern would be the preparation for the board exam. Pero it would be a bonus to have a hospital that would already provide you with an in-house board review. So it can happen in residence nagtuturo sa inyo, and usually this would be a few months before the board exam. The seventh factor would be time for self-review. Kasi nga after internship, you only have 2 months left to review. Kunyari, meron ng in-house boards review yung hospital nyo, it would still be important to have time for self-review if that works for you. Pero if you're that type of person na hindi ka na motivate kapag mag-isa ka lang mag-aaral, edi maybe that's not a big factor to consider. So this actually is also related to factor number 4, which is the schedule or duty hours. Factor number 9 would be the presence of clerks. I'm not sure if this is one factor that people would consider, pero this is actually a bonus factor because if you have clerks, then that might indicate na hindi mo na more or less gagawin yung mga duties ng usual clerk. Kasi nga, nag-clerkship ka na eh. So, syempre, gusto naman natin na internship level na o na-level up naman na yung ginagawa mo. Pero syempre, kung meron namang clerks, wag naman natin sila abusin kasi nanggaling din tayo doon. The 10th factor that you have to consider would be where you plan to go for residency. I know as early as now, hindi ka pa naman decided in the first place kung saan ka magre-residency or kung ano nga yung kukunin mo eh. But if you're already thinking of hospitals where you want to apply for residency, then that can also be a factor to consider para at least you're more familiar with the people, with the environment, yung galawan doon. And I don't know, maybe maging factor din yun para mas tanggapin ka nila doon. The 11th factor that you could consider would be the desired specialty. Maybe this could be a minor factor kasi nga as of this point, di mo pa naman super final kung ano yung gusto mong gawin. In this way, ita-target mo rin pasukan yung hospital na medyo somehow specialized dun sa gusto mong kuning residency. Tsaka pag pumunta ka sa hospital na maraming cases na yon, edi mas marami ka ng exposure, tapos makuha mo na yung feels, tapos kapag nag-apply ka na sa residency, medyo edge mo na yon. The 12th factor that you have to consider would be the outside rotations and trips. So there are some hospitals na bukod dun sa mismo hospital nila, marami pang ibang hospitals na niro-rotatean, and that could be a plus for you. And also there are some hospitals that allow you to go and have trips, mga 1 month or weeks, outside or sa provinces, and then there, you could have the medical missions, usually as part of the community rotations. And kung malaking bagay sa iyo yung pagta-travel at yung makalibre ng trip, then that could be a bonus for you. The 13th factor then would be your personal health. Syempre, huwag mo naman isagad yung sarili mo kung di mo kaya, or kung meron kang other health problems, you also have to take that into consideration. The 14th factor then would be the accessibility. So same with the first factor na proximity, kunyari may malapit na mga condos or apartments which would be convenient for you, na kunyari walking distance na lang, or kung kunyari nasa Manila yung hospital, tas umuwi ka sa province paminsan, edi yung hospital siguro na malapit dun sa mga bus station or any form of transportation that you need. And then under nito, kunyari mahilig ka sa mall or mahilig ka kumain sa labas, there are some hospitals na super lapit sa mga malls or mga restaurants. Or kung ayaw mo naman lumabas ng hospital, ang advantage din nun is kunyari mag-grab food ka. So at least maganda yung mga kainan na mabubok mo. And then one more thing, kung kunyari hindi ka naman commuter but your form of transportation is nagda-drive ka, so you bring your own car. Maybe a hospital with free parking or with a lot of parking spaces could also be a factor to consider. Then the 15th factor would be your peers. So nalagay ko na siya sa dulo kasi siguro naman ito dapat yung list ng priority natin. This might also be a factor because kung kunyari important sa'yo na meron kang kasama or you're choosing between two good hospitals tas mas marami yung friends mo dun sa isa, edi that could also be a factor for you to decide. And then kung kunyari yung jowa mo nandun sa isang hospital, edi dun ka na, diba? Pero of course, I'm not really encouraging na yun lang yung maging basis, but that could also be a factor. But if this is a factor that you're not considering, you're a very sociable person, so di ka naman na kung saan-saan lang kung sino maging new friends, edi it's also nice to have a new set of friends pagdating ng internship. So that is the end of our checklist, and if you have any suggestions and if you think that I missed on some factors, then please comment down below. I really hope that this video would help you decide because it's also crucial because you only have 1 year in internship, so dapat makapili ka na ng tama. But the thing is, even after considering this, so may matching process to, so pwedeng ma-match ka sa first choice mo, pwedeng hindi. But don't worry because you still have second and third matching and may walk-in process pa yan. So don't lose hope. Basta very important na pinag-isipan mo talaga kung saan ka mag-a-apply. And of course, always pray na matanggap ka dun sa gusto mo talaga na hospital. So I hope you find this video really helpful and na nakatulong sana yung checklist sa inyo so you can decide. Thank you very much for watching this video and I hope to see you again in my next videos. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel.